All right. We are going to read a line on a graph, and instead of just giving us what is slope and what is the y-intercept, you're now going to combine those two things and write the equation this week, or type the equation. So what you're going to see from this video is the first part, as she is going to write out the equation and then draw the line. And then the next part is I am going to draw the line and then write out the equation from that line. We're going to use previous videos, feedback, and information to be able to write out a slope-intercept form. Thank you for watching.
Hi guys, Mrs. A here. We are looking at graphing lines that are given with the equation in slope y-intercept form. So here we want to graph this line y equals 3x minus 6. That equation, y equals 3x minus 6, is in slope y-intercept form because if you remember, y equals mx plus b is the form of the equation. So the slope is the positive 3 and the y-intercept is the negative 6. So when we're graphing by hand, we want to always start with the y-intercept. That's our starting point. So if the y-intercept is negative 6, that means on the y-axis, the line will cross at negative 6. So let's go down here on the grid and put a point at y equals negative 6. So there's our y-intercept, that b value. The line has to cross there on the graph. Now let's look at the slope. The slope from the equation is positive 3. And if you remember, the equation for slope is rise over run. So we have the 3 here. Let's force it into a fraction by doing over 1 like this. This doesn't change the value. If you already had a fraction for your slope, then you would use the numerator of the fraction for the rise and the denominator for the run. But since we didn't have one, we're going to create that denominator. And now we see that the rise is positive 3 and the run is positive 1. This means go up 3 for the rise and go right 1 for the run. So we're going to go over to the y-intercept that we started on the graph here, and we're going to do exactly what the rise tells us. Go up 3 because it was positive 3. So from here, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 up. And then I'm going to do what the run says, which is go right 1. Right 1. Right there is my new point for this line. So now we have 2 points. We can draw a line through those 2 points, and that's the line for this equation. I can also keep going with my slope if I want more points. Again, I would go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and right 1. And right there would be another point. And I can keep doing this until I get as many points as I want, but really you only need 2 points to draw a line. So we take our ruler now, and we try to line these up as best as possible. Draw your line all the way across the grid, nice and long. We'll put arrows because we know this line continues in both directions. And we'll label this y equals 3x minus 6. And that is the graph for this line given to us in slope y-intercept form.
Okay. As you see, we have a line on a graph. What we're going to do is decide or write out the slope-intercept form. And what does the formula start with whenever we write this equation? Yes. Y. It's mx plus b. We need to figure out what these letters mean. Now, last week we went over this. Now, instead of just finding out what slope was and y-intercept was, we're now going to put them together and make the equation. So looking at this over here, looking at this line, remember we read it from left to right. What do you think my y-intercept is? 4. And since it's up here, is that going to be positive 4 or negative 4? Correct. Positive 4. Let's leave a little blank there. Plus 4. Now, in order to do slope, we need to know, is it going up or down, left or right? Well, it's definitely going down, so there's going to be a negative number. Let's count now. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've gone down 4 times. How many times do we go to the right? 1, 2. 2 times to the right. So there it is. There's our slope-intercept form. There's our equation. Except we're missing one thing. We have to simplify this. What's negative 4 divided by 2? Yes, negative 2. So actually, in the simplest form, that is my answer. Thank you guys for watching my video.